Every time I have to host I Survived, I am confronted by another example, another meaning for the words to this song, because Jessica Reedy sings here that life can lead you to a place where it's bitter, but you have to believe that it gets better. And we've heard stories of bitter experiences that you can't imagine. But this morning I'm blown away. To be honest, this morning I've heard something that can push the very limits of your will as a human being. It can push the very beliefs that you hold dear for your entire life. This is something that can threaten your life and can threaten even the people you love. When you have nothing to believe in, what do you believe? When there is no reason for you to survive a situation that comes up because of no fault of yours, because of nothing you have done, what do you do? My guest this morning has lived through that. He has the t-shirts to prove it, and he'll be telling us about it. His name is Joel Ahiable, and like I've been saying all morning, he has suffered 1,000 days in captivity at the hands of Somali pirates. Good morning, Joel. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Daniel. Good morning to your listeners all over the world and in Ghana.
First of all, 1,000 days. They must have felt like 1,000 years.
Yes, indeed. 1,000 years is even less, because each day was more than 1,000 days. Because the suffering that we endure each day from the 29th of March that the ship was hijacked was a lot.
Take us back to that day, because even that day when the hijack on the ship began was a very dramatic day, where you were telling me you were just lying down and all of a sudden gunshots started.
Yeah, on that day, 29th of March, I was actually not lying down. I was in the mess room in the company of the chief officer and the chief engineer to take my breakfast around 7:30 a.m. when the emergency alarm sounded. So quickly we began to run to the next level to inquire what was happening. And then we heard gunshots hitting our ship. So I returned to the mess room, went into the galley where most of us went to hide ourselves, because that was about 4 plates if a bullet could penetrate. So that was what happened on that day.
And after that, what did you see?
Yes, so we realized our captain was trying to do defensive maneuvering. And for a time, everything became quiet. So around 7:45 a.m., our bosun, our colleague, came and called us that pirates have hijacked our ship. Therefore, we were wanted at the bridge. So we were climbing up to the bridge when we saw the pirate one standing. We thought they were going to be some giant people, but they were very thin. And then they asked us to put our hands on our head, and we were asked to go to the bridge, asked to sit down. We all sat on the floor, and we were told that our ship was no more going to Dubai, but will be sent to Somalia, where our owner will be made to pay some ransom, after which we will be let go. So we should be calm and go back to our duties. That's what we were told on that fateful day.
Had you had any sort of experience close to something like that before?
I've never had such an experience. The only experience I've had was when we went to anchor handling in Iran, my previous company, when our ship banged into the anchor shield of the other vessel. At that time, I closed duty, so the impact was close to my head. So I got up from my bed, and seawater was coming in from where I was sleeping. So it was then I became terrified, and I said, was this ship going to sink? But if it will sink, the other ship was there, which we may jump onto. So that was the closest thing that I've had.
But this was about sickness. 1,000 times more.
Yeah.
How did you survive it?
It's all about the grace of God. Yeah. And the faith that I had.
So you went to Somalia and with these pirates. Were you kept on the boat, or you went onto the land?
We went, yes, our ship arrived in Somalia in 4 days' time, and we lived on board the ship. Most of us, we live on board the ship for the 1,000 days. We never step our foot on land. But along the way, some were taken to land for reasons which you find in my book and brought back. But for me, I've never stepped on land for all the 2 years, 9 months in captivity.
Tell us about that experience.
Well, stepping on land was not the issue, but the torture and the difficult moment that we were going through was very challenging. And it only takes the grace of God to endure such moments. Every day of our life was like hell. You may ask yourself, just spend a day in just behind counterback or go into the cell just one day. See how it feels like as compared to 1,000 days. In fact, we committed no crime, but we were put through this. Our rights were violated, and talk of what?
What were some of the things that these pirates did to you?
Wow. There were a lot. They beat our officers, the chief engineer, the captain. At the initial stages, they beat them very well. They tied their neck with rope. They put sack around their neck and asked them to jump into the sea. They shut all the windows and kept us closed whilst we were sweating, panting for breath. They take us, sometimes when they are excited, to go to the aft, behind the ship, and line us up and say your last prayers because today is your last day. And the commander, the leader, will give an order and they will begin to shoot over our heads. They tie us in a certain way, which you find that picture, a demonstration of that picture in my book. They beat mercilessly our chief engineer. In fact, we all suffered, but he suffered more than all of us. They split his 2 ears with kitchen knife and left them hanging. We were denied food on many occasions, so hunger strike has been normal. Water, we drank air-conditioned water. We drank sea water. We went through a lot of torture. The beating, some got their teeth broken. Some got hit with a wire on the eye. At a point, they hung my chief engineer, my captain. They hung them with leg up, head down. We went through 3 days of no sleep, working, serious labor. When our ship went aground, we were not giving food all this period. We were not giving water. We drank sea water. We were given a handful of rice cooked with sea water in the morning until the following day. We were denied water. Mention them, all the wickedness that came to the hands of Somali pirates, they did unto us.
Why? Why did they do that?
It was not fault of ours. Owner was not responding to pay ransom. So they felt torturing us was the means. But I bet you, if we had something to give for our life on board the ship, we would have given. Because at a point, the pirates were accusing us of various unthinkable treasures which we had on board. If actually that was on board, we would have given it for our life because we were suffering. So, in fact, no one has committed any crime to deserve the torture on board the ship, not even the chief engineer, nothing at all, because we submitted ourselves and their leadership, and whatever we were supposed to do, we did it.
You didn't even try to escape.
Well, when things became difficult, I titled that page on my book as the most difficult time in captivity. That was on the 3rd of September 2011 when our ship went aground. And it was that day our chief engineer got his ear split. And after that suffering, on the 8th or the 9th of September, few of us, because that was the 3 days suffering which we were going through under beating, torture, fetching water out of the ship, and a whole lot of things. So we said, well, we were going to escape because our ship grounded, sank to half, so we were close to land. But you have to swim a little bit far before you get to land. So we were planning that we were going to escape. But looking at how frail we were at that time, we had not eaten food, and all the Somalians that we encountered on board the ship were very wicked to us. So we assumed that even when we get to land, we may not have anyone that will sympathize with us. But then we wanted to take our destiny into our hands and go. But where the ship grounded, to Kenya was around 600 kilometers to go. And we never think we could be able to make it. And you know, when you want to go through the Horn of Africa, it's a very long distance. So we said, well, we will continue to stay. Maybe one day God will have mercy on us. So we refrained from going.
From trying.
So that time, that decisions or that plan was made with the chief officer. So from the 10th, chief officer disappeared until today. He's not been found. So we do not know whether he decided to embark on that journey and he could not make it. We have not heard about chief officer until date.
Now, you were an electrical engineer.
Yes.
And that's the work you were doing on the ship.
Yeah.
At a point, you describe in the book how when you were in captivity, it was even hard to do this work you had been trained for years to do.
Yes, it had been hard. One of the moments that I could remember was when we were hijacked and we got to Somalia. There was an electrical fault in which I have to enter my control room, enter the panel to rectify that fault. And it took some time because under pressure, in fact, you lose total concentration. I was there working when one of the negotiators came to me and started shouting on me. In fact, I nearly wee-weed on myself because where I was working was very dangerous. But he shouted on me, said if I don't take time, they'll kill me. And there had been a lot of challenging moments as an electrical engineer, then a mechanical engineer, because when finally our main generators were not working and the ship was not moving, we were using portable generators. And even mechanical faults, I've been asked to solve them. So I had to find ways and means. Though a second engineer was assisting me, most of the things I will be called that it's my fault. I'll have to do that. Even electrical faults which could not be solved on board the ship, for instance, burning of winding, I was asked to do it. And it was a very challenging moment. In fact, even when the pirates don't have energy, the power to charge their phones, they have to call upon me. So I dealt with the pirates. So they know me very well. They see me and say, Jewel, they know my name. They know me very well. So I'd been working until the day we were released. It was a very difficult moment. Sometimes we don't have spanners to work with. We have to try to improvise to open, because things were looted on board the ship. So it was a very difficult moment for me as an electrical engineer on board the ship. Seriously.
Well, the electrical engineer you're listening to is Joel Ahiable. And what you're hearing is a true story. It's not a movie. Joel spent 1,000 days captured by Somali pirates. And he's here with us to share his story. Already he's taken us through what happened the day of the hijack and the fact that they were taken to Garad in Somalia. And after that 4-day journey, he stayed on the ship for, the next 996 days that made up the 1,000-day capture. Now, let's go back a bit. You mentioned that some of the atrocities that were meted out to you is because some ransom was not paid. Who was supposed to pay?
Yes, our owner was supposed to pay the ransom. So the negotiator was, we always had negotiators on board because the pirates don't speak English. So somebody must be there to interpret to us and then to whoever that is going to negotiate. So he was trying to negotiate with our owner and he was not responding positively. Yeah.
And why was your owner not responding positively?
Well, he was asked to pay a ransom of $10 million. And as I learned having one ship, he may not be in position to pay that money. Though the ransom came as low as $2 million, $1 million at a point, he still never offered to pay that ransom. Along the way, he made certain comments which went a long way to cause the pirate to met more punishment on us. Like, I am not the owner of the ship. The owner is in jail. When he is released one day, we will be released. And then if they like, they can kill the crew and sink the ship, because the pirate told them that they were going to sink the ship if he had not responded to their request. So he said they can kill the crew and sink the ship. He doesn't care. And he said, if Allah agrees, one day we'll be alive. And many of those comments that aggravated the pirates to...
You were saying, if Allah agrees, one day you'll be alive.
Yes.
That was the owner's words.
Yeah.
But is it that the price was too high?
Master, do the pirate deserve to be paid ransom is the question I'll ask. And talk of $10 million. As a businessman, you're running your own business, and somebody will just come and hijack your ship, take your business, and said, bring $10 million. So, as to whether he was having that money or not, I don't know. Yeah.
So, at the time that this ransom was delaying and more wicked acts were being meted out on you, did you ever feel angry?
Yes, I've been angry, especially at the comment of the owner. You know, since I joined the ship, it was 6 months when the pirates hijacked the ship. So since I joined the ship have been moving. We've never stayed idle. We're moving from one country to the other, always taking cargo everywhere. So when the ransom came down, we thought that he could do something. And moreover, we suggested to him that he said our salaries was piling up. He should add our salaries to whatever money he had and pay the ransom. He told us that no, he is keeping our salaries for us. So, yes, I was angry with various things. The decision to join the ship also was one thing. So, yes, there were various angers which I had within myself.
You were angry at your decision to join the ship in the first place?
Yes.
Why?
Why? Because on that fateful day when the agent called me to his office, he gave my contract to me. And when I look at my contract, I realized that the money I was being paid in my first contract when I returned was more than what he offered me. After I gave him I told him what my requests are for in case I want to join another ship. And then the ship was far older than me. So I told him I never liked that contract. But I called an electrical engineer friend of mine who just returned that time, and I told him, well, I was offered this contract and it have a salary or a quotation in each voyage to voyage, so and so. He said, no, that is not a good job. I shouldn't pick it up. So I had a support, and I came back and I told the director of the agency that no, I was not going for that job. He took pen and paper, calculated it, and said, you'll be earning close to at least $2,000 at a voyage at the end of the month. And you know, we all grew up, we've been going to stadium to watch football together, so they know me very well. And they know, you know, after school getting job has been very difficult. I had a lot of challenges. I've been sick, ended in cardio in Kolebu. So all this history they know. And being the firstborn, you know, you've got a lot of responsibilities. So they were convincing me, and I told them no, I was not going to take up the job. It was a Saturday, so apparently they have to lock the office. And whilst we were descending down, the fiancé was speaking to me, telling me, Joel, you know how long you've stayed home. You know you are the firstborn. Why don't you take up this job? It's just 10 months. When you don't like it, you return. You just change the job. She was still persuading me. So we got to the ground floor, and because I was going to stay home for another long time before getting another job. So I called back my electrical engineer friend, and I told him that they said they were not sending me into slavery, but it was a good job. Why don't I take it up after that? I said, well, Jewel, I said, don't take it up. But if you wish to go, well, you can go and try.
Wow.
And it was then I changed my mind, and I said, yes, I was going to sign the contract. So we climbed to the second floor, and I appended my signature to spending 1,000 days in the hands of Somali pirates.
Oh.
So how will you feel? You know, God speaks to us in various ways. It may not be direct. It may be through someone. But the ability to decipher and know that God was speaking to you was something which I was not doing. I thought I came from an all-night, so, well, that job was a good one. But I tell you, God is ever ready and wants to be friend with us. If we get close to him, he will direct our path. David, a man after God's own heart, was successful just because he always inquired from God. He always asked God, if I go on that journey, will I succeed? If we will all adopt that, I think God will lead us.
It will be much, much better. Wow. So in that moment when you are in the ship, you have been captured, and your life is under threat every moment, when you were thinking back to those moments where you almost didn't board the ship in the first place, what were you thinking? What was going on through your head?
It was very painful, and I always said, well, God has a purpose for everything that happens. If I had not gone there, today you might not have been listening to this story. Because I tell you, though we were 24 that were hijacked and 2 survived, 1 died after I released, I don't think anybody had a vivid account of whatever happened to us in captivity, well documented. So until we come to understand the purpose of God, things that God does will not make meaning unto us. So, well, I was regretting day by day of taking the decision to go for that job. Why didn't I wait? I was always questioning myself, and I wept. I kept weeping. Oh, Jewel, how did you find yourself in such a situation? So I realized that decision actually was what led me into that signing the contract. So I regretted, but in every allowed valley, God has a goal in it, and God has a purpose for everything that happens in our life.
But you must believe that it gets better.
Purpose for everything that happens in our lives.
To die.
But how do you see the purpose when you are in captive? When you are in captivity, I mean.
When it happened, Jesus.
Jewel Ahiable will tell us how. How did he find God's purpose when he was a slave to pirates?
Love and make me always available.
Dennis Deborah, good morning. You said, greetings to Jewel. His story is very pathetic, but the Lord will certainly restore to him the wasted years. We are here with him. 0244-340-437. That's the text, WhatsApp, and Telegram line. Please tell us what you think. You can also tweet at us at Joy997FM and go on our Facebook page, Joy99.7FM. The hashtag is JoySMS. We'll be right back to get the answer to that question. How do you find the purpose of God when you've been captured by pirates?
Everything is changing around you. Sometimes you need to turn to someone you can trust. You want to move with a change in safe hands, and we are here to help. At Societe Generale Ghana, we understand change because we have transformed and evolved. No matter how our name may change, 43 years of retail and corporate banking expertise never changes. ensuring stability and trust. Digital innovation as the world moves forward to help you adapt, upgrade, and keep up. Bank with Societe Generale Ghana and enjoy doing your banking your way, whenever you choose, in our digital zones with cutting-edge digital banking products and quality services. You deserve a better bank and great rewards. We agree, the world only moves because you make it move. SG Ghana, the future is you.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
How do we teach them well to lead the way when teachers don't have the absolute peace of mind? The GES SIC Life Policy is a well-thought-out life insurance policy designed for teachers to give them absolute peace of mind for the future. With a monthly premium of 10 Ghana cedis per, you are covered up to 18,000 Ghana cedis in times of death, permanent disability, critical illness, and so on. For more, call 0501 694554 or log on siclife-gh.com. SIC Life is your true friend for life in times of trouble. SIC Life, absolute peace of mind.
SIC Life.
Okay, our last caller for Chirewajin on Radio Ghana by 56.7 FM is on the line. Hello, you have 30 seconds. Chirewajin.
Hi, Mr. Presenter, yes. I don't understand how I take out my own money to buy credit. My own money, oh. Then when I buy it, the people say I have to use it by a certain time, otherwise they will take it away. I mean, how? If I buy it, then I should be able to keep it as long as I want. Abrabona, you trying to say at the end, Suzuki expiry. It's not all of us who can call.
All right, thank you. Expiry is a very serious issue. Now, let's take a message from our sponsors.
Tired of expiry on your calls? Switch to Airtel Tigo. Get Fuse, the only call and data bundle with no expiry. So time no be problem. Call all networks and browse with Airtel Tigo Fuse. Dial *567# to bundle.
Airtel Tigo. Life is simple.
To handle fire caused by LPG, take the following steps. If possible, turn off the regulator on the cylinder to stop the gas from causing more fire. Immediately, call the fire service. Do not try putting out LPG fire with water. Instead, use fire extinguisher. Children should immediately call for help when they smell gas or notice a fire. Remember, never place a cylinder to a source of heat or use a stone to stop a leaking cylinder. A message from the National Petroleum Authority.
Amplify petroleum gas. Amplify petroleum gas. Use it safely and wisely.
From importers to exporters, direct to indirect workers, you and I, the MPS Terminal 3 is great news to us all.
As a trader, doing business at the port has become easy. The machines are very modern and clearing goods has become very fast.
As a port worker, it is a great joy to be part of over 1,000 Ghanaians working here. This new facility means a lot to us.
As a cocoa farmer, I have more markets to export my products. The entire world can now taste my cocoa, bringing me and my family more income.
The MPS Terminal 3 is a game changer. MPS has invested in world-class equipment and technology to optimize the efficiency of doing business at Tema Port. This means more jobs, development, and opportunities for our present and our future in Ghana. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
the application and make payments instantly. Within 48 hours, your visa will be sent to you via the email address you provided. It's that easy and stress-free. GT Bank, wouldn't you rather bank with us? The Vodafone Bosu offer just got bigger. Aside the Bosu weekend offer, Vodafone has taken another boss step, introducing the Bosu Daily Offer. The Bosu of all daily offers. Sign up to the Vodafone Bosu Daily Offer for 2 Ghana cedis and enjoy 100 minutes for calls to all networks, plus 100 megabytes valid for 24 hours. Yes, it's real, palm. Just dial star 5588 hash now to subscribe to the Bosu Daily Offer and spend your day like a boss. Social media messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Good morning, Daniel. It's a very, very chilling story. Okay, so this one says, Jola Ahiable may be my cousin. I work as an editor for Classic Magazine. We interviewed him some 2 years ago. I'm shaking and shivering like a leaf hearing him tell a story live on radio. We can all attest to the fact that our security system here in Ghana couldn't help him. I'm curious to hear a bit about that. Good morning, Daniel. This guy's story is very, very horrible indeed. God always speaks to us. Everyone will go through tough times, but the Lord Almighty will make a way. Master, with this stowaway in Takrady Port when man was a student at GSTS, these Somalia guys are really wicked. God will give him another job. Well, Papa and Satish in Ungwa Estates, I didn't know that was your story. So, Joe, let me come to this. At that point, did you feel abandoned, or was there someone or some people who were trying to help you?
We felt abandoned. Because when we were on board one day, there came in an interpreter who said he was working in Somalia and heard our pathetic story, so he came to help us, and his idea was to bring in doctors to remove our heart and kidney and sell for ransom. And that devastated our spirit. So we were confused on board what actually the pirates were going to do. During that time, our third officer, Wagdi Akram, died because he was intimidated. He was told he'll be taken to shore to land and chopped in pieces. So he became scared, was hiding himself. At the point, we thought the best we could do to save our colleague was to put him in chain. So we chained him for about 4 days. On the 4th day, he was released. And he went to pray at 3 p.m. as a Muslim. And from there, we hurried and left to an unknown destination. In fact, at that time, there was some little freedom. So I went to the workshop to put pieces of carpet together to make slippers myself. It was there when I heard bosun running from the forward of the ship and was shouting, "Help, help." Didn't say anything and went to call our chief officer and an AB. And as they were going,
what's
before
an AB?
AB is able seaman.
Okay.
Yeah. So whilst we were going, we saw a speedboat passing containing one of the hijackers and pirates. So he beckoned to them if they could assist. So we went and then put our colleague on board in the boat and took him with the intention of bringing him to the aft and use the winch or crane to bring him on board. So it was then that he narrated to us that he was there and he realized somebody ran behind him and he could not see. So he looked overboard and saw our friend in the sea clank to the anchor chain and he said, "Hey, Wagdi, hold on." Whilst
he was holding
the anchor chain, yeah. So he spoke, the two of them spoke, and he told him to hold on whilst he called the crew to come and rescue him. But I went back to the workshop thinking all was well. I was there when second engineer came and called me that our colleague had died. And when I got to our sleeping area, in fact, he was lying down lifeless. They were trying to do all resuscitation, but he could not make it. Apparently, his trowel was only wet. The shirt was not wet. His chest was pressed. No water came out. So why did he die? Somebody who spoke to our colleague. Why did he die? Well, I cannot give an answer to that. Only God knows. So when he died, yes, they brought in a journalist to come and take a video. of how we live. We spoke to the international community what we were going through. He put it, and it fell on deaf ears. They never pay heed to us. Human Rights Watch in US came in, granted a very long interview, and they could never help us. We spoke to ITF, International Transport Federation. They never came to our aid. We went through a lot. In fact, one of my colleagues was having a phone which he hid. In fact, they collected everything from us. So he told us he had a phone. And that phone contained a Somali SIM card. We managed to get about $30 worth of credit on it, and then we were using that to make calls.
Okay.
That was when I established contact between me and my brother. And then I was channeling a lot of information to him, and he took it to the media, got Richard at City FM to me. I had a lot of conversation with him, and he got a member of the Foreign Affairs Ministry, which I was speaking to at that time. And we did all those things. We tried to call anti-piracy watchdog in Norway. We made a very vital contact and told whoever we were speaking to that yes, rescue was possible, because we knew what was going on board. We were given a vivid account and describing how we could have been rescued, but we were forsaken and abandoned. That was how we felt. Yes, we were forsaken and abandoned. Even when in February 2011, UN came with a warship to take the dead body away, it tells you how we have been forsaken and abandoned. They care about the dead body, but not the living. And then the pirates said they were not going to allow him to take the dead body away. And they said they were going to return in 72 hours time. And until date, they never returned. So it tells you how we were forsaken and abandoned.
And on page 61 of your book, you said, what crime have we committed that makes no one seem to care for us? Was it because there was no American, British, or French nationals on board? What happened to our fundamental human rights? At what point of the journey did you feel like this?
Especially, I think that was the beginning of all these things, getting to around October thereabout. If you can go, you see that I've chaptered my book according to the number of days. So
yes,
it's a vivid account of day by day happening in captivity.
Pardon me, this was day 189 after the death of Wagdi.
Exactly.
So it seems to be around the time when he was moved, his dead body was moved.
Exactly. So that was when I felt this. Because yes, if there was an American on board, they would have run it quickly to rescue us. Because after our release, when we returned to Ghana, that week we heard a French ship was hijacked by Somali pirates, and the French government ordered the French Navy to go in, and they rescued the crew. Though the captain was killed, they rescued them. They didn't live to 1,000 days in captivity. Yeah, so if we had a French on board, an American on board, a British on board, would we have stayed that long in captivity? We travel all around to bring all the goods. Everything is transported by ship. We the seafarers, we leave our families, we leave them, our children. In fact, our families, we leave them and go and transport all the goods from one country to the other. But we have not been regarded.
Tell us about your family back home.
Family back home was going through a lot of challenges. At that time, my dad was getting old, so I've been thinking how my dad's condition was going. And as the firstborn of the family, of my siblings, two of my siblings were with me in Accra before I left, and they were depending on me. My brother then had started a clearing and forwarding job, so he just started, and our lastborn who was with me was also schooling. So it was something else to us how they were coping. So when I had this phone, that was when I was conversing with them. In fact, I spoke with my mom, with my dad, and Michael, we were doing most of the communication. And anytime we picked the phone to speak to each other, it was all tears. My family suffered alongside. So if you look into my book, I have a page titled The Family Perspective. My father has written what he has gone through, my mom, what he has gone through, and Michael, what he has gone through. So this was not only me, but my family back home, loved ones back home, who were also going through all these things. People were fasting and praying for God's deliverance. So, in fact, the suffering was widespread.
Did you want to die?
Yes. During captivity, I almost gave up. That was when our ship went aground. And after that torture of fetching water out of the ship, I became sick because we were stuck in diesel mixed with water, other chemicals. So I became sick. Other crew.
That's the water you were drinking?
Yeah, the water we were drinking, and we
was mixed with diesel.
Yeah. We drank water mixed with diesel, petrol. In fact, some of the water were smelling, but we had no choice. But we have to drink that water. When I remember those things, it's disheartening. The water is smelling, but we have to drink that water. So I became sick. And for 60 days, 60 nights, I was not able to sleep. I have to dip my 2 feet in seawater at night and at day. It was a very painful experience. And the pain was so excruciating that I wept like a baby. I sought for God deliverance, but it was like God had traveled on a very long journey. I called for him. You know, at that point, you confess all your sins and thinking that maybe you have done something wrong. That's why God was not heeding to your prayers. I did all those. And still, God did not answer. I found a place in my heart because it said that in difficult moments, praise him. So I found a lot of inspiration, especially from Rick Warren's book, Purpose Driven Life. In fact, that was one of the books. I had my Bible, a daily manna my mom gave me, and the Purpose Driven Life. That was what was knitting in my life and giving me hope that yes, there is a future. So during that painful moment, one night I picked a knife to stab myself because I was suffering. And I just heard a voice, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. And I dropped the knife. So at daybreak, I gave the knife to my colleague Prince from Ghana, and that he should take the knife from me. But still, that didn't change the pain. It continued. At one time, I nearly hanged myself. And at one time, I told myself, well, I was not going to call upon God again because it looked like he never existed. But I heard a voice and said, Jewel, humble yourself. And that's when I said, well, since my parents gave birth to me, they never made any mention of any other God except Jesus Christ and a God that I know. So I continue to call upon him. Maybe one day he will have mercy on me. So I continue to trust in God. And after 60 days, 60 nights, that was when my pain alleviated.
That was when you were not sick anymore.
Yeah, the sickness. And I slept that night.
So for 2 months you were not sleeping?
Yeah. It was very difficult. It was very difficult.
Wow. Still live on the Super Morning Show. It's not an easy story to listen to. And what we are doing this morning is we are speaking to Jewel Ahiable. Difficulties the guy went through.
I used to be so broken.
Owner was very wicked when he refused to use their salaries to bail them out. Why was he keeping it? As for Joel, we thank God for his life, and it's good to know he hasn't given up on God. Stay blessed, Judy from Circle. Douglas from Adenta says, hi Daniel, very harrowing experience for Joel. What vessel was he on board? The MV Iceberg one, right?
MV Iceberg one.
MV Iceberg one. Who is the owner of the vessel? We'll leave him unnamed. We'll leave him unnamed for now. Did the crew know about the dangers along the routes they traveled? If yes, were they taken through any emergency measures before they set off? Were you?
Unfortunately, we were not taken through any emergency training. I know that on board ships we are supposed to undergo various training intermittently, but our leaders had never taken us through any form of training in case we had this kind of attack. I remember the only training we had prior to the hijack was once we had a firefighting training. That was all. It was after the hijack when we were kept in the captain's bridge, when we found documents, we found reports about how ships were hijacked, about how ships escaped, about the defensive mechanisms that others use to escape. Then we got to know that our officers did not do as good.
Those documents were where?
They were on the captain's bridge.
Wow. So they knew how to protect you.
Yeah, no, other ships were attacked, and then they found a way to escape. Defensive maneuvering, using the fire pump, using the seawater, and they may fence around the ship. All those things were not previewed to them. So these things were kept from us. I'll say that the pain of not knowing them is better than the pain of knowing it after. Because, yes, we may not have escaped the pirates. Yes, we may not. Because even if talk about Captain Felix, is it Alabama, the ship that had that container ship that was hijacked? Yeah. They had speed. They had all the safety mechanisms on board, but they were still hijacked by pirates. So yes, knowing all those things may not have saved us, but the pain of knowing them after we were hijacked was so painful. So yes, we may not have escaped if we had gone through this, but if at least we had tried. We have a knowledge about this, that yes, this is what we should do, shut the engine, go into the hideout and all those things. Yes, it could have helped us. In fact, you find all these things in my book. My book contains a lot of information.
And the book is Hijacked, a true life story of Joel Ahiable. I'm sure we'll be telling listeners how they can get copies, but it's just a few minutes so it hits the hour of 9. A terrible 1,000 days for our brother. Let's thank God in our prayers on his behalf for seeing him through. At CSS Gerald for that. He tweeted at us at #JoySMS. At Junior Emmanuel says #JoySMS. Ahiable's story is really disheartening. We thank God for his life. The end will surely be gracious. At Derry Gubar says, this guy has seen death face to face, but God rejuvenated him. I'm really touched this morning. God refuel him. There are a few good Somalis and many bad, bitter, abusive ones. Those waters are dangerous. I won't advise anyone to visit that country. Would you agree with that sentiment? Because I know after you went back to Mogadishu and you went to the other Garowe, right? Garowe. There were Somalis there who were cheering you on, who were very friendly.
Yes, they were cheering us up. They lined up at the streets to like show remorse for what their people did to us.
So they don't agree with the pirates per se.
Yes, it's not everybody that agree with the pirates.
You know, I want us to go there. I want you to tell us how that happened, how the entire rescue, because that alone was another experience, and also how you healed afterwards. This is I Survived on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Daniel Daddy. I'm here with Joel Ahiable. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Daddy, I bet you enjoyed your trip abroad.
Oh, yes. It was worth every peso, and the experience was breathtaking. The beautiful environment, the culture, and the food. Oh my, until I got terribly sick.
Perhaps from eating too many new dishes.
But you know, thanks to my Glyco travel insurance policy, all my medical bills were paid for the 3 days that I was on admission.
Really? Glyco travel insurance policy?
Yes, my dear. Glyco travel insurance is the best. Look, it covers medical and emergency services, personal assistance services, emergency return home, personal liability such as legal defense fee, loss of baggage, personal accidents, trip cancellation, or even delayed departure. And even these are the ones I remember off my head.
Yes, Glyco Travel Insurance has a worldwide cover and widely accepted by embassies, both Shenzhen and non-Shenzhen. Visit any of our Glyco offices nationwide or call 020-422-113 or 055-5305-547 for ready assistance from our experienced support team. Be safe, travel protected, and have a peace of mind. Glyco, we cushion you for life.
At Afrodan, we believe that many of the problems people have with their health is as a result of the way they sit. In other words, your chair can kill you. Here's Dr. Marcus Mann of the Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
What you have to remember is that the spine is the lifeline to your body, and posture is the window to that spine. Now, posture is affected by your daily activities and habits like sitting. That's why at the Chiropractic and Wellness Centers, we recommend what I believe to be the best chairs available for preventing not only subluxations, but also other health problems that you may not be aware of. And that's Rabami and Mobilex chairs. Unfortunately, on a daily basis, I have to correct the effects of this poor sitting habit in our businessmen and businesswomen. Always remember, optimal spine equals optimum health.
So, for the sake of your health, buy Rabami or Mobilex chairs from Afrodan. We're on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade. Telephone 663-085.
Let's go,
My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality, but I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
No one likes the siren of the ambulance, but once in a while, there is a moment in our lives where we need help and pray silently for an angel. That is why the Call Angels came into being to provide 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, round-the-clock ambulance cover for medical emergencies, domestic accidents, road traffic accidents, non-emergency transfers, and any medical condition where professional hand is needed to get a patient to the hospital. Download the Call Angels app for free from Google or Apple Store. You can also register for value-added services by calling 18026 or star 3330 or 0302-909746. For as little as 100 Ghana cedi, you can guarantee you and your family for up to 5 persons priority response in addition to a 30% discount on fares for your transport request. Sign up and get that peace of mind for you and your family. Call the Angels in that critical moment and we will be there. Kindly note that this service is currently available in the Greater Accra region only.
Promo promo wey dey ayede. Sabi go so you so me momo no. If you say MTN Echimache no, e dey at table. Brand new Samsung 65-inch UHD smart TV. Na brand new 2019 Hyundai and a fit 3,000 Ghana there. You should say mono. MTN Momo. Still, Misaka, the journey of 1,000 smiles. You shall see 10 years ago. And to celebrate this milestone, MTN give you away exciting prizes in the MTN Momo at 10 promo. Yeah, you use Momo no. You could win one of the 2019 Hyundai i10 cars. Yes, some or Samsung smart TVs for baby. And they up to 3,000 CDs e-cash every month. And a grand prize, 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe in the MTN Momo at 10 promo. Into signing on and they keep using your MTN Momo. Now when it big, if it's happening, I could see August every year. Only on Ghana's best network. Dial *120#. Now check your points. Terms and conditions apply. Just Momo it. We're there for you everywhere you go.
It seems so far. No matter who you are. See, there's one thing that I know. Life, it can leave you so bitter. But you must believe that it gets better. It's alright, dry your eyes, send a prayer to the sky. I know it's hard to find, but you must believe that it gets better.
Story, quite the harrowing experience. It's like the Pirates of Somalia movie, only it's real and lasted even longer. Hashtag Joy SMS. Joseph A327022163 says, hashtag Joy SMS. Good morning, Daniel. The gentleman's story clears every doubt in the minds of persons who don't believe that God exists. At CSS Gerald repeats what you said. He says, if there were French, US, etc. citizens, we would have been rescued. This is true. But I think government does not place as much premium on its citizens, even in Ghana. Hashtag Joy SMS. Today's agenda is brought to you by Societe Generale SG Ghana. The future is you. So remember, just add hashtag Joy SMS to all your tweets and we can find them and read them on the show. Now, Agric Development Bank ADB is your most trusted bank with over 50 years experience in agric financing. You can count on us to offer the best financing solutions in making your agribusiness dreams a reality. Visit any of our 78 networked branch nationwide and talk to our well-trained agric finance officers for your one-stop shop solution to make your dream a reality. Call our hotline 0302 210 for further information. ADB, truly a Greek and more. Now, ever had a call bundle that expired even before you finished using everything? Sometimes the hustle is so real, your mind is not even on the deadlines for the things you bought. And just when you need it the most, it disappears. You lose the bundle that you paid for. You know the big cry. Airtel Tigo says no more of that. You should be able to keep what's yours for as long as you want. Your call bundle should not expire. Now you can get Airtel Tigo Fuse, the only call bundle which does not expire. Call all networks and browse with no expiry or wahala. Time no be problem on Airtel Tigo Fuse bundle. Simply dial *567# to bundle now. Airtel Tigo, life is simple.
The sky, I know it's hard to find, but you must believe that it gets better. Listen to me. I know you're scared, your heart's bleeding, but what are you gonna do now?
Tweets and messages coming. We will definitely be reading them. It's some 8 minutes past 9. Joel, let's begin to talk about how you were rescued. How did that part of the journey begin, Joel?
There was never any sign that we were going to be rescued. We had lost hope. There was total silence. There was no negotiation going on. All human effort has come to a halt. I remember my colleagues do ask me, Joel, when are we going to get out of this place? As if I had the solution for that. I kept encouraging them that yes, we'll soon get out. But personally, I never knew when. I kept trusting God. In fact, back in captivity, I was even discipling an Indian for Christ. So it was on the 1st of December 2012 when I did a whole lot of things. If you see, I have my prayer book which contains a lot of prayer which I wrote in captivity. And I wrote a letter to God. I wrote it on a paper, and I went out and I left it that God, this is our petition on behalf of crew. You find that prayer in my book.
It's right in the middle there.
So I wrote that to God, and on the 10th of December 2012, around 5:30 a.m., I got on my knees to pray when we heard gunshots towards the bridge where we were kept, and the glasses were breaking. So colleagues started running towards my direction, and some were using blanket to cover themselves as if bullets could not penetrate. Within some few minutes, the pirates climbed to the Monkey Island, the topmost surface of the ship, and they were exchanging fire with, because the ship's grounded, it's close to land, so they were exchanging fire with soldiers at the land who were shooting at the ship.
Okay.
Then about 20 minutes time, we heard the approach of a helicopter. And the pirates, they came and took us from where we were back to when we got to Somalia first, where they kept us. They took us all there, except chief engineer. We were there, and that day there was fierce battle. There was shooting land, sea, and air. So, helicopter was shooting at our ship. There were 2 boats at the port and the starboard side. They were all bombarding our ship, and soldiers on the coast, full of bullets. Heavy artillery. Our ship was bombarded, and if you look into my book, you find bullet spots. At a point, even the lifeboat who got bent, there was fire. So that began the rescue. For us, the agony of death was past. In fact, we sought for death to have died long ago. We never had it. We used to say that, or I used to say that, those who died never lived to see their wretchedness as we did. So dying was better, because, my brother, we suffered a lot. A lot. We suffered a lot. So when that day the shooting was going on, well, if I die, somebody might leave. Somebody might die, I will leave. So it never matters to us what happened to us. But amazingly, by 3 p.m., the fire subsided. And I asked myself, Prince, are we going to continue to be in this mess? Amazingly, that rescue lasted for 13 good days. Day and night, they were bombarding our ship.
Constant shooting.
No, there were times they go on break.
Oh, God.
And then they will resume. It was really horrible.
Really, and you didn't even care if you would die or not.
What else could we do? Even if you know you were coming to die, what could you have done? There was nothing we could have done.
Who came to attack the ship?
It was not the American. It was not the Ghana Navy or Ghana Armed Forces. It was not the NATO force. Neither was it the British Army. But God said he will not give his glory unto any. And the glory must go unto him. He again used the people of Somalia, the Puntland Maritime Police Force, to come to our rescue. Look, we never knew they were the one that came to our rescue until we got to land on the 1,000th day. When we were rescued, we heard that, in fact, during the days of shooting, there came a warship just to observe what was going on without doing anything. With all the sophisticated equipment that they have, they never came to our rescue. By length, they were giving a commentary that what the Puntland Maritime Police Force was doing was against human rights.
Whose rights?
I learned that was what was carried in the media at that time whilst we were being bombarded. And I asked, so do they want us to continue to live there until we all die? They never came to our rescue, though the way in which the Puntland Maritime Police Force went about the rescue was something else to talk about. You can see the finger of God in it that no one died. Though, yes, somebody to sustain bullet injuries, no one died. But we are very grateful to the Puntland Maritime Police Force for allowing themselves to be used by God to rescue us.
So on the 13th day?
In fact, on the 11th day, I called the 4 Ghanaians and I told them, I believe God will do something. And when I remember that in the land of Egypt, God granted Passover to the children of Israel. So at midnight, I was having a small Casio watch. I'll call all of you, let us pray. Wherever you are, just be there, let's pray. And we had that prayer at midnight. And in the morning, which was the 12th day, there was a little shootout in the morning. And by midday, we heard from the pirate that they have had communication with the rescuers and that they were going to let us go free without ransom, and they will also let them go free without arresting them. So on the 13th day, which was a Sunday,
your birthday,
which was my birthday, so the rescuers came with a speedboat, and then they took the pirates with the ammunitions away. In fact, those of my colleagues that were wearing the clothes of the pirate, they even took it from them. Some, they took their bag. In fact, some came empty-handed. All their passport documents, everything were lost. So by 1 p.m., we, the crew, were also evacuated with speedboats to land. So it was then we got to know that it was the Puntland Maritime Police Force that came to our rescue. And I don't know. That's why we talk about the purpose of God. We were rescued on my birthday. We spent 33 months in captivity. I was 33 years old.
The day of
Sunday
your
born. Yes, on a Sunday born. And we were rescued on that Sunday, the 1,000th day in captivity.
So Joel has taken us from the day the bullet started flying to signal the hijack to the day the bullet stopped flying to signal the rescue. It's a humbling story. But sometimes surviving and being rescued, Joel, it doesn't end the story, does it? Because I was listening to an interview you granted, and you were saying you couldn't drink normal water afterwards.
Yes. After rescue, actually the soldiers gave us water at the beach to drink, and that was the first time we tasted normal water
Without
petrol, without salt, pure normal water bottle were given to us. I drank it, but along the way, we were taken by helicopter to Eel, from Eel to Garowe to Bosaso. So along the way, in fact, I had diarrhea because we have never ate normal food. So I had diarrhea. So, I became very dark, very slim, and having a long beard and grown hair, You
see the picture. You should get if you go on our Twitter handles and on our Facebook page, you see the picture of Joel. That this was immediately after you were released.
Yes.
And I can see the look on your face where you look so beaten. You look so beaten at that point. Was it just gratitude, or you were tired, or you were really what was it?
Well, it was gratitude. It was the tiredness. The 13 days shooting that we went through was damn horrible. It was like the whole world coming to fight us, coming to a battle against us. In fact, I've not witnessed such a thing before. Seriously, it was like the whole world coming to us. Going through that whole 13 days, which we were not even having much food to eat. It was really very difficult. So the 13 days, most of us never bathed. How can you think of bathing when a shooting is going on? Food was a problem. So you can actually understand what was happening, and the joy of being released was another thing to talk about.
Did the pirates ever say why they decided to negotiate with the Puntland police? Did they run out of ammunition or something?
No, but the battle was unending. And why the battle kept that long was because the pirates were protected by the iron. So, the soldiers could not see them and shoot at them. And there was no way that the pirates could win that battle unless that they continue to bombard the ship for how long it will be. And on the first day, I realized the pirates, if they had the means, they would have surrendered because they were also terrified. But about how things went, they were terrified, but they never had the means to communicate with the pirates, with the rescuers. So I think when the opportunity was given to them, yes, they could not do anything. They took the advantage of it, and there was no food. We had short of water and food at that time, so they willingly accepted it.
So Federico Poboski tweets us at Poboski2G6. He says the Joel story on at Joy 997 FM about his 1,000-day ship hijack, and he continues with a crying smiley. Strong lad. So I'm sure a lot of people have called you strong. People have called you resilient after that. Do you feel like you're a strong person?
Yes, I do, because it's not by my power, it's not by my strength, but it's only the doing of God. In fact, after my return, my Dennis Autry led me to the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship International, and they published an abridged version of my story. And that gave me the platform to go around sharing my story, motivating people, encouraging people, winning souls for Christ. So, yes, I was sharing the story. And in fact, when I share my story and people weep, I understand they actually put themselves in the story. And when, after sharing my story, for instance, I went to Kolebu chapter of the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship International, and after the breakfast meeting, an elderly man approached me and told me that, Jewel, I never knew how I came to this breakfast meeting, but I think God wanted me to be here. In fact, I was about giving up. But when I heard your story, I don't think there is a need to give up. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So looking at the impact that this story has had, whenever you tell it, whenever you hear things like it, can you ever get to the point where you will feel grateful that this has happened?
Feeling grateful, it's only understanding the purpose of God. That whatever happens to us, God's hands in it. Yes, I don't know what God has for me, but we are on this earth to make an impact. So whether you die or live, you will be cited one day for what kind of impact you have made. So the way you live your life, you must consider it. Yes, I cannot say that I'll be grateful for what happened or not, because the pain always lingers. But when you begin to understand that God has a purpose for everything that happened, because if it had not happened, you wouldn't have heard of me today. People wouldn't have been inspired and said, no, never will I give up in life. If Jewel has become a living testimony, had gone through 1,000 days without giving up. So yes, the two will go alongside. There wouldn't be any day I would say, well, I'm grateful that it had happened. No. And there will not be any day. But then, as I said, God has a purpose for everything. And I believe that the purpose of God will actually come to fruition. And it is one of the ways that what I'm doing here. We've been given a task, that is the Great Commission. And then you go about discipling people, winning souls for Christ. And if then I had no message to preach,
now you do.
Now I do.
Awesome.
And I'm depopulating hell to populate heaven, calling people to accept Jesus Christ as their personal Lord and Savior.
Awesome. Do you think you would ever go back to the sea?
Oh, I've retired from going back to sea. Because for the 10 years after completing school had been very rough. And after all this experience, I lost the zeal and the enthusiasm that I had to work on board a ship, to travel all over the world. I've lost it. So going back to sea, no. It's no more part of my plans. Because also I've got a ministry and to work with. When I go on board a ship, I'll only be confined on one particular ship. How many people is going to hear what God has done for me?
Amazing. The various people involved. Let me begin with the ship owner. If you were to meet him today, what would you say?
I don't think I have any word to tell him, because even when we were released, I tried to call him, because our salaries were in arrears even before the hijack. And after hijack, he was supposed to pay us. He said he was holding our salaries, but up till now, he's never paid us. So calling him, he lived in Dubai, calling him and he never cared. I don't think I have any word to tell him, no.
What about the negotiator?
You see, back in captivity, today I would have become a very wicked person, because I've seen wickedness at its pedigree. And we were planning that with the Yemenis, that after we one day got out of that situation, we were going to go through various means to go and retaliate in Somalia. So You can imagine what I've been doing today. But coming to understand that our rescue was not ordinarily, but it was all orchestrated by God, man have to change his mind. It's only a fool that doesn't change his mind. And as you understand that all these things is just about God, you just have to let go of that. So if I see the negotiator, if I see
the pirate
Muhammad, who's called Mushkila, one of the most wicked, Abrukadal, I wouldn't do anything to them today because our deliverance was by God.
So you've forgiven them?
Yes. What can I do? If I could have done something, I would have saved myself then. So there is no need going to fight them today. There is no need going to have a retaliation. There is no need going to become a bad person today.
And this is the strongest part of the story, I should say. It's 28 minutes past 9. This is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take just a few more messages and then we open the phone lines. As soon as we come, the phone lines are open. Speak to Joel. Ask him whatever you want to ask. If you have any words for him, you can tell him. 0302 216 541. We'll be right back to hear you.
Foreman, how can I say the screening be smooth, perfect, where it drive fast like that?
Contractor, I always tell you, say, interface self-leveling screen be the best solution. It drive fast, where they make the job neat. In fact, it pass analog. This be original digital interface self-leveling screen.
Hey, babe, I hear you, Interface Man.
Interface Limited is the leading supplier and installer of finishing input materials for the building and construction industry in Ghana. Call us on 0274 9999 or visit our website at www.interfacelimited.com.
Okay, our last caller for Chirewajin on Radio Ghana by 56.7 FM is on the line. Hello, you have 30 seconds. Chirewajin.
Hey, Mr. Presenter, yes. I don't understand how I take out my own money to buy credit. My own money, oh. Then when I buy it, the people say I have to use it by a certain time, otherwise they will take it away. I mean, how? If I buy it, then I should be able to keep it as long as I want. Abrabona, you trying to say at the end, it's only expiry. It's not all of us who can call.
All right, thank you. Expiry is a very serious issue. Now let's take a message from our sponsors.
Tired of expiry on your calls? Switch to Airtel Tigo. Get Fuse, the only call and data bundle with no expiry. So time no be problem. Call all networks and browse with Airtel Tigo Fuse. Dial star 567 hash to bundle.
Airtel Tigo. Life is simple. I am Dr. Keisha. Acacia gives your workers the best customer service and treatment options when the need arises, keeping them healthier and more productive for your business. Acacia Health Insurance. We place value on those you value.
My name is Sergeant Kofi. You are my eyes and my ears in our fight against crime and terrorism in your community. If you see anything suspicious, please say something. Call the police toll-free number 18555.
This public service announcement is brought to you by your friends at Joy FM. Hashtag, if you see something, say something.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
29 minutes to the top of the hour here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Daniel Dazi. We're here in the studio with Joel Ahiable, the man who was captured by Somali pirates for 1,000 days. He says it felt like 1,000 years. Every single day was painful. The phone lines are open now. 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. OGB is calling from Dowenya. He's our first caller. Good morning, OGB.
Good morning, Daniel. Joel, your story is a known story, what has been happening out there in Somalia. And your own case is peculiar because your ship owner refused to play with them and never cared. But to the glory of God, you have changed and you have had a change of heart, and you've forgiven the ship owner, you've forgiven the negotiator, you've forgiven the pirates. That is the greatest. And I think you took the right decision. And another point is, God always has a way of doing things. My brother, let me tell you, maybe if you had not joined that vessel, something could have happened to you. You never know.
Yeah, that's
to the
true.
glory of God, we thank God for everything. Be strong and move on with your life.
That's
stay
true.
young.
Thank
Bye.
you very much. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, OGP, for calling. Sawan is calling from Kumasi. Good morning, Sawan.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
I am blessed. Sawan, please turn off your decoder or radio, however you're listening to us.
Okay, is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Joel, I have this information for you. I thank God for your life, and I'm happy that you have gone through and you are still with God. And I just want to tell you that God has a way of calling people, and I'm sure that this is the way that God called you into His, His fold. So I'm also happy that you have a ministry that is winning souls for God. So I encourage you to, continue with that, and then win souls for God and continue to serve God. And then at the end, He'll give you eternal life. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Amen,
Sawan.
and bless you too.
Amen. Bernard is calling from Dansoman. Bernard, your radio is a bit loud. Please turn it off.
Oh, okay. It's off now.
Okay.
My greetings to Joel in the studio. Joel, good morning.
Good morning, Bernard.
Yeah, and quite a harrowing story. And thank God that you've been rescued. But, for me, I am a realist. I want to look at it from this angle. I mean, what becomes of the Ghanaian? I mean, we have the military here. We have the armed forces. We have the naval force and blah, blah, blah. They go about terrorizing Ghanaians who have done nothing wrong, who pay taxes for them to be paid. Why can't they, go and rescue, or why didn't they come to rescue you? I mean, was there no way that the government of Ghana was aware of this? I want to ask if they were indeed aware. And how come that it would take because they should be aware, right? Because the Somali forces then came to your rescue.
Joel,
I mean, you're not American, so you don't expect Americans to come for you, because Americans think about their citizens, So what about us? Are we not able to do this ourselves? What becomes of the Ghanaian?
Joel, you spoke to an official of the Foreign Affairs Ministry, right?
Yes, I did, and my brother Michael even wrote a petition to the government at that time to come to our rescue.
He took it to Parliament.
Yes, and the copy of the petition is in my book. I scanned it and it's in my book.
Did he get a response?
There wasn't any response. That's why we have to spend all these years in captivity.
Nothing at all?
No. There wasn't any response. They said yes, they were going to deal with the issue, and I saw the parliamentary report that they even asked the minister about what they were doing about that. So what happened? Never. Nothing happened. Apparently, they didn't do anything.
So, Bernard, hi, that answers your question in detail. Benny is the one on the line from Kaneshi. Benny, please turn off your radio so we don't get any feedback. Good morning, Benny.
Good morning.
Right, Benny on air.
Yeah, Joel.
Hello, Benny.
Hi. I'm really moved. I'm really touched. I feel so blessed because this is a lesson. I mean, you have been there. You've experienced life-threatening situations, and you've read Purpose-Driven Life with Warren. I've also read it too. God is not done with you yet. That's what I want to tell you. He has a purpose for you,
yes.
And I'm just looking at everything from a different angle.
Yeah.
He has so much in the pipeline for you.
So much.
And
so much.
Jesus was a teacher. You are going to teach, you are going to share, you are going to actually minister to people, and it's going to really take you very far away.
Very much.
Don't just end with a book. I mean, try and come up with a video or a movie. Come up with a video or a movie about it, a documentary or whatever. Just try as much as possible not to let this be lived a short term, please.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And
Thank you. That is in the pipeline. You know, we're going to serve as a mouthpiece for seafarers, going into advocacy, going into rehabilitation, and going into the ministry. These are the 3 projects which I'm set up to do. And I believe
I'll get more
Hollywood
details of that. But let me hear Kwesi. He's on the line from Hacho. He's been holding on for just a moment. Good morning, Kwesi.
Good morning.
Kwesi, please turn off your radio so we can hear you well.
Okay.
Yes, we're still getting some feedback. Okay, so Kwesi from Hacho is with us. Kwesi, what do you have to say to Jewel?
I just want to find out how many of them survived from the 24 people who were hijacked.
Yes, at the time of rescue, 22 of us survived, and after rescue, 1 person died. So 23 are now living. 21 are now living.
Okay, thank you very much for Kwesi from Hacho for calling. Jude is on the line from Spintex. Good morning, Jude.
Good morning, Mr. Daniel.
Yes, Jude, let's hear you.
God bless Mr. Joel. We thank God for his life because he's been very, very strong. For me, taking to his shoes, I don't think I could have made it to the 1,000 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jude, for calling. At one citizen at JT says, at the moment you think you're the only one going through difficult times, you realize that some have gone through are terrible. God is always faithful. Hashtag Joy SMS. At Raouf Schwab says, hashtag Joy SMS. All I can say, bro, is stay stronger. The future will be worth living, my guy. At Ama Amofa says, I'm shaken, but God sometimes take you through a journey so chilling that you think God doesn't care. But without test, there is no testimony. He comes just in time to save you. Joel, God really exists and you are one of his biggest testimonies. God bless you. Going back to the phone lines, Reverend Aqua is calling from Kumasi. Reverend Aqua, I'm getting a lot of feedback from your line. Please turn off the radio so we can hear you. Reverend Aqua, good morning.
This is Reverend Acosta Inti.
Reverend Da Costa, thank you.
Yeah, Da Costa Inti from Kumasi. Yeah.
Okay, let's hear you.
It's a very good story. I encourage him to continue on what he's doing. But Daniel, one caller says something. I want you to take advice. What they set up and do investigation about it. What did the parliament do? And what do they do if our citizens, go into that particular situation? I want you to take that from the Bible. And the most important thing is said is God took him away from this. So if you have not taken Jesus Christ as personal Savior, he's advising you. As a Reverend Minister, I want to repeat that to everybody. God, that's the thing. Joseph went to the Lord, but because of the trust he has in God, God took him away. So our brother is advising everybody. He believed that through God he was saved. So if you have not taken Jesus Christ as personal Savior, do that, and whatever you go through, God will take you out of it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Before Musumuru from Doma Bing comes through, at Joseph says, if they were at CSS, let me take this one here. As Ralph Schwab says, hashtag Joy SMS, I hail you, my guy. May Allah wipe your tears away for the years left for you to live. Stay blessed, bro. At Nene_IP says, how long a day lasts after a bad day? 1,000 days must be real hell. Thank God he survived through it all. Hashtag Joy SMS. Omusumuru from Domabing is on the line. Good morning, Omusumuru.
Yeah, good morning, Daniel. How are you?
I am blessed. How are you?
I'm fine. God bless you so much for a good work you're doing for Ghana. Daniel, before I go to the issue you are discussing now, Daniel, I saw something yesterday and I wept. Daniel, if you pass through a graphic road, the bridge, the overhead bridge, around the overhead bridge, go and see the solar panel with the battery that they provided to provide street lights. People have removed all the batteries under the poles. I was shocked. So is that how far Ghana has come to?
Shocking story indeed.
You can send your reporter to
We'll look at that. Thank you very much, Omusumuru, for calling us from Domabing. Vinolia is on the line from Accra. Good morning, Vinolia.
Yeah, good morning.
Vinolia, you need to turn off your radio. I'm very sorry. We are getting too much feedback from this line. Okay, whilst you're doing that, Jewel's story brings fond memories of the movie Deadly Voyage. Indeed, he comes across as the Jewel of the Nile. At Owusu Adiefe tweets at us there. Hi, Vinolia.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, we still have some feedback, so please turn off the radio totally.
Yes, I'm trying to do that because I've been moving with my radio everywhere, from the bathroom, from the kitchen. I'm just moved. I just want to tell our uncle that God is still in his miracle business. And as people are calling and telling him that God is not through with him, and I'm sure it's his destiny. He was rescued on his birthday on the 33 months.
33rd month on his 33rd birthday.
Yes, so they should tell him that God has started something with him. If this had not happened, he wouldn't even know that God is with him. So I'm just happy. I don't know what to do. I've not eaten. I'm just sitting down listening. My husband just called me to ask me, are you listening? And I'm moved. God bless me so much.
God bless you too, Vinolia. Thanks for calling. Dan, my namesake, is on the line from Banana Inn. But before he comes, Justice at Justice Kwame 6 says, #JoySMS, this is horrible. Thank God for your life. Where can we get your book? What are the authorities saying about it? Okay, so you deal with those two questions for me when I come back to you. But the last caller is Dan from Banana Inn. Good morning, Dan.
Hey, bonjour. Joel.
Hello, Dan.
Hello. God bless you in my life.
Amen. Bless you too.
If you intend making the film, then I think you would need your other colleagues. And then the man who advised you not to accept this contract, but somewhere along the line, you turn your back on him. But finally, I would like to know where I can meet you personally.
Yes, I'll be leaving my contact after the program, so you can reach me and we can talk. We can meet.
God bless you.
Amen. Bless you too.
Thank you very much, Dan, for calling. This is our last caller. More of your tweets coming in. Nenena, the fourth at Nene IP says, Jewel has indeed been to hell and back. #JoySMS. And at Osei_Tutu Eugene says, sad story from Jewel. God guard and guide him. Okay, so let's begin, Jewel. Let's begin wrapping up by you giving us first of all how we can contact you and how we can get the book to buy.
Yeah, you can get me on my mobile phone number 020 959 0018 020 959 0018. When you contact me, we'll talk and you'll get the book to buy.
Okay. Yeah. At the moment, are the books anywhere? Are they being distributed through any
Not distributed
shops?
to any shop. So you contact me and then I can get it to you. I want to meet you. I want to have a personal relationship with anyone who wants to buy
who gets the book.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Joel. And it's my prayer that the story is told to the ends of the earth as well. And you were talking about some Hollywood prospects as well.
Yeah. We pray that those Hollywood guys are listening, and this movie is more than the other movies that we talk about. Captain Philip, that's 4 days in the hands of Somali pirates, but talk about 1,000 days with a vivid account. Vivid. If you were at my book launch on Friday, you see the dead body in the freezer. You see, I have videos of how we live in captivity and got a lot of information. This book is actually a true life story. Nothing orchestrated in this book, but due to how I journaled everything, every day of our stay in captivity, that led me to write this book. So I believe that this book is going to go and spark a lot of debates, going to change a lot of rules in the maritime industry. And I believe this book is going to serve a lot of people, most especially seafarers, but a lot of people. So this book has a lot of things to do to change and to bring souls to Christ, most especially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Joel, for joining us.
Listen to me. I know you're scared, your heart's bleeding.
Now, before Joel gives us his final words, CBG Ghana has completed the system upgrade and are currently resolving residual issues. You may experience some service disruptions during this period. However, be assured that our team is working to restore normal service on all platforms. We appreciate your patience. CBG, we stand with you. Webster University invites you to their open house on Thursday, August 8th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's today. In just 12 minutes, they open. They end at 1 p.m. as the Ghana campus in East Legon. Webster University is an American university based in St. Louis, Missouri, with international campuses in 9 countries around the world, including Ghana. At Webster University Ghana, you get an American education with the opportunity of completing your degree in any of their network campuses in North America, Europe, and Asia. Webster's next intakes are in August and October. Attend the open house on Thursday, August 8th and learn about the various undergraduate degree programs and 10% scholarship opportunities. Meet faculty and current students, take a campus tour, and discover how the Webster Collegiate experience would help you find your true self. Individuals interested in their MBA and Masters in International Relations graduate programs can reserve a spot to attend the Masters Mixer info session, also at the East Legon campus, on August 8th from 6 to 7 p.m. That's tonight, 6 to 7 p.m. Call 054-012-0869 or 054-012-0849 or email ghana@webster.edu today to RSVP. Now keep using your MTN Momo accounts to build points and win exciting prizes like a Hyundai Grand i10 or a Hyundai Santa Fe and Samsung Smart TVs up to 3,000 Ghana cedis in e-cash. Remember, promo winners will be called with 0244 300,000 to redeem their prizes. Just dial *120# to check your points. Terms and conditions apply. Go on, just Momo it. We did for you everywhere you go. So for Jewel, your final words for us before we finish.
Well, I would love to say that the story is still, trending. And then, as a member of the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship International, we'll soon be having our national convention. So people are invited to come and see what we do. And then there, I'll also be sharing my story from the 24th to the 22nd to the 24th. So you are invited. And then I want to say hello to my wife, my queen, Vicentia, to my son, Joseph, my prince, my excellency, my prophet. You know, since if I've not been able to name the Joseph, then my son should be the Joseph. And then to Dennis Ochri, to Dennis Bengo. Dennis Bengo has been with me, and I know he's here with me also. And we've gone through this story. To Charles Mawenyega, to Edmond Ametoji, and all others that are supporting me in this project. I want to say hi to them, and God bless them. To everyone who have listened to me, the story is, I don't think it's just for fun. But as I said, my greatest aspect I'm looking at is ministry. And then, so I want to take this opportunity to let you know that, yes, we're talking about hell. I've been to hell on earth. If this is not the real hell, then I wonder how the hell is going to be like. It is just a warning for us that we should give our life to Christ and accept Jesus Christ as personal Lord and Savior. So I want to say, if you know you have not accepted Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, you have not welcomed Him into your heart, wherever you are, I just want you to lift up your hand and pray with me. And say, I thank you, Father, this morning that I've come to know you. I thank you because Jesus Christ has died for me. I thank you that you rose him again from the dead for my justification. I welcome you, Jesus Christ, today into my life, into my heart, as my personal Lord and Savior. Come and take control. Thank you in Jesus' name. And once you have done that, just believe that Christ is in you today. Just get yourself associated with God and everything will be on. Remember, the project is advocacy, rehabilitation, and ministry. 1,000 days is like a day before the Lord. Thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.